Focus building exercise. There is another way to develop focus amongst the students who are doing the listening skills practice. The teacher should inform the students that while listening, they must look for numbers. Numbers are very important to be listened to carefully. For example, 15 and 50 may cause confusion, and the answer that has been done by the student may be wrong just because he took 15 for 50. So the students need to make a difference while listening to the numbers, whether it is being said as 15 or 50. Similarly, for 14 and 40, usually students, they get confused with these numbers. So the teacher needs to give examples to the students to make them realize that it is important for them to listen to the numbers very carefully. Sometimes the students are overconfident and they just believe that how can they just forget about the number. But the way the examiner asks them the question, they just get confused whether it was 14 or 40, whether it was 15 or 50. In order to have the correct understanding of numbers, the teachers need to make the students aware of the fact that such confusions can occur when listening to the audio tapes. Therefore, the students need to make a note of the numbers. Then another thing is the postcode, which is very often used in the addresses. In Pakistan also, we have probably a postal code or a postcode, and in other countries also the postcode is very important. So the examiner may ask for the postcode, and again it consists of numbers and letters. Also, there can be a lot of confusion while the students are listening to letters. For example, N and M. It causes a lot of confusion even in listening on the telephones. Sometimes when somebody says N, we take it for M. And sometimes when people say P, we take it for B. And that is why it is important when one is giving information to someone on the telephone to specify P for Pakistan. So that makes it clear that P is for Pakistan. But when the students are taking the exam for listening, the speaker would not say P for Pakistan. He would just use P. And the students need to now focus on the fact whether it is a P or a B. And this is the teacher's job to make the students aware of this, that there can cause a lot of confusion between listening to the letters such as P and B, M and N, also T and D. Is another source for confusion for the students. When they listen to D and T, they need to make a differentiation between the two, because these are very common misunderstandings developed in natural language as well. And for the natural language, when we are talking to somebody on the telephone, we need to use words in order to tell the person whether we mean T for turkey and D for donkey, and only then it is clarified. So that means this is a very important thing, because it happens in our natural conversation as well, that there is a possibility of confusion there. But in the listening activity, when it is for an exam, the speaker is not going to make it clear by using some words. So the students need to be very careful about it. The number of speakers. Sometimes it has been noticed while in the listening test that the students are not aware how many people are taking part in the conversation. Probably they get distracted and they do not notice that there are more than one speaker in the conversation they are listening to. Therefore, they need to look at the fact, what is the age of the speaker, what is the gender of the speaker. Sometimes the confusion for gender also takes place. So they need to focus on all these things.